Yo, what is up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your host, TraderPrad. You made it. You finally made it to the final episode. Welcome. Hopefully, you guys all had a wonderful trading session today. We see a lot of people in the chat. CDP saying our boy TraderPrad in the house, brothers. That's right. We are here. Lord allowed us to wake up another day and be able to go on stream another day. We are healthy, we are wealthy. Well, not really the way we want to be wealthy, but we are wealthy, we are healthy, and we are having a lot of fun, enjoying what we love doing every single day of our lives over here. So welcome everyone to another episode. Sadly, the final episode of this week, but we will be right back next week. Last week of February, next week coming up. This month is almost to an end. Sadly, most of this month for me was just no trading, so that sucked because this month was absolutely fire, hot, super hot fire. So insane opportunities this whole month. I mean, hopefully a lot of you killed it. But as the market keeps just going, it keeps rolling. That's what we gotta do too, right? We just gotta keep rolling with it. We just gotta keep moving with it and look for the opportunities that show up tomorrow or the next day, or the week after that, or the week after that one. So we're gonna look for all the opportunities tomorrow. See how the market could possibly set up at. Talking about how the market could possibly set up. The market today was insane. I mean, QQQ up nearly 3%, going back into the all-time highs. S&P 500 up 2%, breaking the all-time highs, making a new all-time high. It was almost like the market was just waiting for Nvidia to report earnings, and I wonder who said that before. I wonder if someone named TraderPrad was streaming before and kind of called that Nvidia would make or break this move in the market, this next leg. But either way, I forget if someone did or not. Hopefully, someone people got to take advantage of that person's call out, that genius call out. But man, what a move on Nvidia today. 780, not 800. I think that 800 come into play eventually later on. No, 785 was the high day. Okay, so 785, 780 was the number I last remember seeing on Nvidia. But 785 over here, the previous all-time high, getting respected cleanly. Beautiful respect coming in at that 746, 745 area today, and ripping right back to the north side, giving people the opportunities to get long. And now we're not that far away from that 800. But more importantly, how far are we from that 1,000? That 1,000 beautiful, significant dollar price for Nvidia. Talking about 1,000, SMCI almost back into that 1,000 area. So we'll talk about that a little bit deeper. As you guys know, we always have a pretty extensive watch list to talk about. Most of the stocks on the watch list are earnings based, such as Square, Carvana, Bank. We're also going to take a look at some of the stocks that already reported earnings today, such as Marvana. Marvana? Why did I say that? Carvana is a stock that we have in mind, but Moderna is something that we're going to take a look at. Stocks that reported pre-market. Then obviously Nvidia, without a doubt, to see if Nvidia can give us some sort of a day two trade, along with maybe some sympathy on AMD, along with some sympathy on SMCI. So lots on store over here to talk about. We'll kind of shuffle through all the stocks over here. I also have some other fun stuff to do today. You know, every day of the week we just do charting, stocks. It gets a little boring for myself, and I bet it gets a little boring for you too. So today we have a little bit of a switch up on the routine. We're gonna go through some, I guess, famous? I don't know if the famous is the right word, but we're gonna go through some TikToks, some finance TikToks, and kind of see what the TikTok world is currently at, and maybe we can critique some of those TikToks over there, and then later on, I got something special for you space nuts, for you space fanatics, for all of you, especially people who are interested in NASA's mission to moon and so on. Something special took place today after hours, and a stock got affected by it pretty decently, and a stock that was pretty much in play all of this week. So we'll take a look at that one too. Lots of fun movers over here coming in the after hours, so we'll take a look at that. Lots of space stuff especially, so I'm looking forward to that. Dave hates 808 coming in. You think we'll get a March pullback? I mean, I don't have crystal ball, man. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what the future holds. I'm a day trader, right? I'm a day trader. I draw my supply demand zones or support and resistance lines, whatever you want to call them. I use my technical analysis. I use my monkey brain to get into monkey trades that are hopefully, hopefully is not even the right word to be using over there, but the ones that are, according to statistics and according to back testing, more often winners than losers. And when they are winners, they give you a high risk to reward payout. That's all I look for. I'm not an analyst. I don't get paid to be an analyst. I don't get paid to predict the futures of the markets over here. What I do get is to actually execute off of my setups and execute off my trades. So I don't know where the market's gonna go tomorrow. You're talking about March. I don't know where the market's gonna go tomorrow. But what I can do is study the market, look at the moves from today, look at the possible resistance areas, which clearly there aren't none at the moment. The market's at all-time highs, right? S&P 500 practically broke the all-time high today and put in a new one. QQQ ran into the previous all-time high today. So maybe you can use that as a resistance on QQQ, but SPY is pretty much in blue skies. So what you can do is maybe create some theories off of it and day trade off of it. But since I don't swing trade, since I don't really invest, I don't get paid in predicting that. I don't get paid in predicting that at all. Hello, Pratt. I find your insights very helpful in my trading journey. Thanks a lot for all the content. Could you analyze MELI Mercado Libre? Sorry, it was a very low stock for your likings, very low volume. Okay, let's go check it out. We'll add it to my watch list. Maybe we'll start off the day with that one because since you asked me so nicely, you absolutely melted my heart over there with that message. I'll take a look at that one for you, and we'll see what's going on with that stock. CDP saying, Prad, when are you coming down to Puerto Rico? Big traders here for tax advantages. I mean, hey, you don't gotta tell me twice. But I'm not American, brother. I'm Canadian. I don't really know how it works. Do I have to relinquish my Canadian citizenship and my Canadian passport and become an American? Do I really want to do that? Do I want to be an American? Do I want to be American at that point? I don't know, but no, all jokes aside, yeah, I mean, Puerto Rico is now where, what's his face? Logan Paul and things are. Yeah. I guess, yeah, if Trump becomes president, maybe I do want to become American. My country is obviously going to shit. My country is going to shit over here with an absolute what's a communist regime? Is that what Joe Rogan calls it? Canada is becoming communist. Trudeau is making Canada communist. Apparently, me even saying that out loud, I could get my podcast or my stream on YouTube completely shut down for being Canadian and saying that in Canada. So hey, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. I'm Canadian too, says Ryan. Well, shout out to the Canadians. Shout out to the Canadians. But hey, where is there any music playing in the music bot? No, there is. Okay, that I can hear that a little bit. But let's get started, everyone. Let's get started. We have a lots in store for today. So let's get started with the number one stock on the board today, which is going to be a stock pick from our viewers, Barkey. Barkey coming in asking me about ME. Where'd the stock go? Where's the stock? MELI, Melly. He's talking about Melly. Melly, let's go take a look at Melly. I mean, what the frick? It's a $1,000 1.8K stock. What do these guys do? Retail trade, internet retail, Mercado Libre. What the fuck are you guys? Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, other countries. What do you do? E-commerce related services. What does that mean though? They serve a lot of countries though. A lot of countries. Damn, son. I mean, the volume today is not bad for $1,000 stock. It basically brought in almost a million shares per on the day today, and it's going back into its all-time high. If you just ignore the fact that the stock doesn't really do too much volume, you can see on the daily chart here, we're pretty much going back into this beautiful double top area on the all-time high, at which point the stock could possibly find some minor resistance or even major resistance based on how we have already played out over here. So keep an eye out for that. This does look like a little bit of a head and shoulders to me, and the head and shoulders already played out with a nice little move to the downside. Pretty sure head and shoulders means the stock gets rejected, if I remember correctly, or does it's a bullish move? I can't remember. Either way, the stock over here going into 2020 or 2000 flat, looks like it has a little bit of a resistance over there. That's the all-time high. You also have the 52-week high that we just broke out of today. Looks like breaking the 52-week high could start a little bit of a momentum into that move to the upside if you have the buying power to trade the stock, and if you have the risk capacity and the risk diet, the risk appetite to trade a stock like this. The reason why I say it that way is because if you take the breakout of this 18,000 area, technically your stop is either 17,000 or 16,060. Like, most of the big ballers, the ones with the big nuts, they probably have their stop all the way down here after taking the breakout of 1800. But you can kind of put the stop over here under 1700 too. That's still $100 per share that you're gonna lose instantly on a failure of that level. So I mean, if you have the balls to do that, shout out to you, but it's just not something I would do on $1,000 stock here. It's just way too pricey for me. But according to some of the levels that I'm thinking about, this is what looks interesting. The stock looks like it wants to possibly break out, test this area, and then possibly bounce to the north side, go test that all-time high, and either break out of the all-time high or reject the all-time high and then start pushing back to the south side. That's what it looks like it wants to do at the very least to me. Okay, now that you have my insight on that one, let's head on to the stocks that are actually on the watch list for today. Let's go take a look at, let me also pull in, where's my chat? I closed my chat. Oopsie daisies. There we go. We opened the chat back up. But now, let's still show you guys the watch list for today, starting with stocks like Square, Carvana, NU, mRNA, Fiverr, Wayfair, Nvidia. Sadly, today I can't really scroll all the way down on this watch list, so I'll just bring it down over here, as you guys can see right there. Etsy, some of the stocks that we already talked about yesterday, along with our lovely large cap QQQ and the S&P 500, always on the basket. Ani's in the chat. What's up, Ani? Nice to see you in my chat, and nice to see you in the other chat earlier today, in the AI chat. Interesting conversations being had there. That Nick dude, I like the way he talks to people. It's hilarious. What's his name, Nick? Maybe I screwed up his name. But either way, he's hilarious. I enjoyed that conversations quite a bit in that Twitter space. But I'm laughing currently at the lack of an economic calendar tomorrow. This is the economic calendar, and it looks absolutely dead. It looks like there's nothing taking place on the economic calendar, nothing going on. So will the market even move tomorrow? I mean, based on how Nvidia moved today, I think Nvidia basically reignited, kick-started another whole move to the upside on the whole market, with the semiconductor, with the AI hype kind of pouring back in. We already saw SMCI going back to $1,000 today, AMD going into $180, Intel going up to the north side too. I thought Intel was going up. What? Intel gave up the ghost apparently later on. Sad move on Intel here. Oh, right off the open, Intel gave it up. I guess Intel, you suck. Who cares about you at this point? But, you know, big moves coming in from Nvidia that are being poured into the market. Oh, wow. 800 is pretty much where Nvidia is at in the after hours right now. and they're carrying the market. These market giants are moving back up, and they're carrying the market. Look at that, perfectly pinging the all-time high on the QQQ today, and kind of just rejecting the all-time high. S&P 500 breaking past the all-time high and making a new all-time high today. So shout out to the S&P 500, which was the real winners, real winners on the day today. S&P 500. I am interested to see how the Dow is doing. The diamonds, is that yeah, the Dow up 1.16. We heard that Amazon and Uber are going to be added to the Dow Jones Industrial, so probably a trade over there to watch on AMZN and on Uber in the near future. Uber with a nice move to the north side. That's not Uber. Amazon with a nice move to the north side later on in the day today. Shout out to Amazon. I think Google might have joined that party too. It did not. Google gave up the party. Sad. All right. Anyways, let's get started with the earnings board. Starting with Square. Square had an earnings call today after hours. Nice little move to the north side off the earnings report. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to head over to our trusty friends over at Benzinga. Look at Benzinga over here. Shout out to Benzinga. Go check out their link below in the description if you want amazing tools like Benzinga over here that can help you identify the news as soon as it comes out, along with other scanner tools and charting tools that are available on the Benzinga Pro platform. So go check them out. Their link is in the description below, but we're going to use them currently just for the earnings catalyst news, which is for Square. From what I saw, most of it was just up, and the stock move was also to the upside. So let me quickly show you some of the numbers over here for Square. 24% up year over year on the revenue side. They also beat on EPS, or I think they missed EPS very slightly. Revenue for the fourth quarter was up 15%. Transaction revenue was up 8% year over year. Company reported over 24% growth in subscription and services revenue. Company ended fourth quarter in 23 million Cash App monthly active cards. That's up 20% year over year. Their next guidances are also very much up. They're talking about their full fiscal year guidance, which is going to be 25% up year over year in terms of the revenue. The company is guiding first quarter profit to be also up about 24% year over year. I think we kind of just talked about that. Fiscal 2024 year is they're expecting that number to be up 15% year over year on the revenue side. We've done a lot recently to reduce our costs. Now we're going to focus on the growth side, says Block CEO Jack Dorsey. The company said it remains focused on achieving its Rule 40. Some of these ones I actually didn't understand when I read it. What is Rule 40 and what is Rule 29? I would love to see what those are. I have no clue what Rule 40 and Rule 29 is. But whatever that is, the company is apparently very much so focused on that into 2026. And Rule 2029 was apparently achieved in 2023 on a combined company basis. So overall, I guess whatever goals that they've set are being achieved, which are good things. The CEO coming out and saying that they're focusing more on a growth side now instead of cost cutting. They've done a lot of cost cutting, and it's been kind of helping them out already. So now they're focusing on the growth side, helping the company get bigger and better and stronger. The Daft Punk song include lyrics over there. So looking to see how Square can catch traction from this or not. Something that was obviously noticeable right off the bat when I was charting for myself earlier today was this earnings anchored VWAP from November 2023, which actually came in as support all of this week and last week for the stock on Square. You can see how we blasted off, then we gave up the move a little bit, but right above the earnings anchored VWAP, a lot of support has been constantly coming in on Square and waiting for the current earnings VWAP, waiting for the current earnings report, the current earnings report coming out, helping the stock kind of launch off to a north side a little bit more, showing you that whoever was buying off of this previous earnings report is probably pretty happy at this point, and they're not looking to really close their position anytime soon, most likely, because they've been accumulating the stock over here at these prices for quite some time. They've been bullish from the previous earnings report, obviously, and everything just sets up bullish in my opinion, right? Just the derivative analysis, the technical indicator analysis of that VWAP and the way it's been trading off of these VWAPs, it's beautiful for me. And I love the fact that the stock is now not only bouncing off of these areas, it's also using its earnings it's also using its earnings report to kind of go back into the previous 52-week high area of that $83 or so. So looking forward to see what the stock would do right back into this $83, $81 or so. And I think these numbers come into play tomorrow without a fail. Right, I think Square easily goes into these prices tomorrow, and we get to see how we trade over here. Is there resistance still there on these prices, or is there now finally a chance to break out above here and start playing with some of the higher prices on the stock that a lot of people were possibly waiting for? A lot of people being me. I was actually calling this, not calling it, but if you guys remember Max from the Trader TV live show, I think he was a host for quite a bit of the time over there, especially when I got let go from that company. Max and I, we kind of did our own pseudo research. We went to a couple bars and we talked to the owners over there and what terminals were they using. A lot of these companies were using these Square terminals, and they were talking about how their previous payment processing companies or the previous payment processing handlers that they were with before were way expensive, were way slower with payments, and they were all very happy with Square, and a lot of people around the area were also moving to Square. So that we were like, okay, dude, that's something's going on over here. We might need to start thinking about going long on Square. And that's exactly when this big move comes in on the stock, and we were like, wow, wish we had bought some calls on it, bought some shares on it, missed out on a monster move over here on the stock. But hey, another opportunity over here to look to see what happens, at least for a day trade tomorrow. So watch out what happens over here into $80 on Square. Let me quickly put that number into my resistance notes. So let's go back into the 5-minute chart, and I'm gonna drag this bad boy out right into 80.50 to 81.50. That's about $1 of an area, but I'm gonna use that whole area as my first zone of resistance to see how the stock trades. And then above that, we have a clear high of 83. So above 81.50, we have 83. Ignoring that though, you can see how the stock has been kind of creating a little bit of a barrier before 80 into 78.50. I don't think this barrier matters too much. I think we break past this and go into $80 tomorrow very easily. Most likely have to make a decision off of 80, 81.50, or 83 tomorrow in pre-market. So watch out for those areas to come into play on pre-market. Something that I do have to do right now though is put in the earnings anchored VWAP. I was on the 1-minute chart and I kind of forgot to do that. So let's put in the earnings anchored VWAP over here real quick. Earnings ER February 24. Bang, bang, bang. Go back to the 5-minute chart. Do we even need to chart any support areas? I mean, I don't really think we need to. I'll be honest, I don't think we see this number coming back into play today. I absolutely don't think 71.40 comes into play tomorrow. If it does, that's pretty damn bearish. You do not want to see the stock going back into 71. You don't want to see the stock under 74, to be honest. You don't want to see it under 74. The earnings anchored VWAP is coming in at 75. The 50 period exponential moving average is coming in at 75 also. So technically you don't want to see the stock below 75, but my bottom dollar is going to be that after our consolidation low into $74 over here on that stock. So $74 to 75, you technically don't want to see the stock going below it. If it is under that, then in my opinion there might not be a long for us to play with on Square. So be very, very careful tomorrow if we're under 74. Now, the next stock on the board, Carvana. This one actually confused my brain up a little bit. Carvana, $60? What in the world? Carvana, $60? That's insane. I mean, this stock was like $30 recently that I remember. I mean, right here, I remember trading it into $30, and now we're at 60. Where have I been? Where the hell have I been? Wow, what a monster move on Carvana over here. You can see how the previous earnings anchored VWAP kind of getting respected at the moment too on this stock over here. We launched off, we pulled back, found support. Unlike Square, this one actually broke to the north side before the earnings coming out today, and now it's probably into a new 52-week high. Yeah, new 52-week high. Why is my voice sounding like that? What am I doing with my voice there? Weird things that I'm doing with my voice. But there you go. Look at that beautiful move going into the new 52-week high right now on Carvana. And it's actually trading between these two ranges. Looks like it wants to blast off. Now, you got to remember, Carvana has a high short flow. Carvana has a pretty high short flow. Let me get rid of that page. If you know why that developer tools was open, then be quiet, okay? Be quiet. New revenue breakdown and options chain. Ooh, what is this? Do we have to pay for this? Gain deeper insights into the company revenues and detailed analysis of revenue resources. How? How, Sway? How? You don't got the answer, Sway. Yeah, you're gonna have to make me pay for it, aren't you? Yeah, screw you, dude. I'm not paying for shit. Okay, Carvana, high short flow, 35% short flow. That's decent. That's a decent amount of short float on the stock. I actually want to go check what SMCI is at still. SMCI is still at 10? Oh, I want SMCI to go up. Go up, SMCI. Okay, anyways, let's come back to Carvana. You guys know what happens to stocks that are highly shorted. They get sometimes launched to the north side. They get very, very active. They get very, very excited. So I'm looking forward to see what happens over here on Carvana. We already breached the 52-week high. So right now the after hour areas are a little bit more important. So the 67.50, possibly a resistance. I'm just gonna put that number right now to watch out for. In pre-market, it might be a completely different number. So watch out for how the stock moves in pre-market. And if it's already higher than what the previous 52-week high is in pre-market, the previous 52-week high being 62.50, then you're probably using 62.50 area as a support all the way down to the $60 area right now. So this whole box for me is a very interesting range. I would love to see the stock trading within this area in pre-market, at which point we can have a little bit of a easier trading off the open tomorrow. But if the stock is not in this range in pre-market and it's kind of higher than this, then it kind of ruins the cleanliness for our trades, because we might have to look for more shorts than longs, and shorts for a stock that's highly shorted. So we'll see what happens on Carvana in pre-market. My levels of interest right now, my inflection point is that previous 52-week high of 62.50. My support, I kind of want to use this area as support, but I'm not going to really put anything in my support area notes for now. And resistance, I do have that 67.50 as my resistance. So let's see how this stock moves. Let me put in my anchored VWAP for Carvana for earnings. Volume didn't come in there. Volume kind of didn't show up. Here's where volume showed up. So that's where we're going to put in ER Feb 24. Caravana. Let's go back to the 5-minute and see what it looks like. Yeah, $61, right into that low of those two double bottoms. So technically, you don't want to see the stock under 61. That could be a good support. I'm going to put in 61 in brackets, earnings, AVWAP. There we go. Now, the next stock on board we have is a stock that I believe is not 100% owned, but at least some of it is owned by our good friend. That's right, I said friend. Deal with it. Our good friend Papa Buffett. Warren Buffett, I believe, actually invested in this stock, or at least those were the conversations that were floating around when the stock was IPOing. This is a Brazilian bank, if I remember correctly, and new holdings. I don't really want to spend the time into doing the research right now to see if Buffett holds it or not. I don't care if I'm wrong. Screw it. I don't care if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't really matter even if Buffett owns it or not. What we care about, honestly, is the earnings move. That's the only thing that we care about, and see how the stock reacted off the earnings move. See if we have a possible trading opportunity off it. But a quick glance though, we are moving right back into the earnings, the IPO ranges on the stock. That's not the, and that was the color I used. Okay, we are going back into the IPO ranges on the stock. As you guys can see right there, IPO day low, IPO day high. We're kind of in that range right now on that stock, and after the earnings report, a little bit of a downside move. Sadly, off the earnings report, we did get pushed to the downside. We kind of came back in and reclaimed the IPO low of $10, but looks like the stock could easily maybe go back down to the downside and struggle a little bit more. So you're really looking at that $10 area now. Now keep in mind, this is the $10 area was an old area, right? This is the IPO low. Not saying that it's not significant, but at the same time, it could be significant. It probably can be significant, but I just like to look at these IPO ranges to take a look at how the stock behaves, especially when the stock is a brand new IPO. And you did an IPO not that long ago. If I can just quickly do this for myself, Feb 24, zoom out. How long did NU IPO? 2022. Yeah, brand new IPO, barely about a year or two on the market. So reclaiming, as you guys can see right here on the daily chart, reclaiming that IPO low, using that IPO low as a support for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. That's pretty solid. So in my opinion, that $10 area is an absolute area, beautiful area to trade with. Now the question is, does the stock stay above 10 in pre-market? Does the stock get below 10 in pre-market, and then do we get to short it or long it off of this area? That's the only number I'm going to leave on my watch list. I'm not really too interested about any other level. The stock's ATR is also only 33 cents. It's not even 50 cents of an ATR, which would mean that the stock could easily find resistance right into today's high. So I'm going to put in that number of today's highs resistance to see what happens over here. Hanging out, trying to find stocks I can add to my retirement fund. It says Ani. Retirement fund. Apple, Microsoft, Google, AMD. I mean, any tech stock is a simple eyes closed buy and add to the retirement fund over there. Any tech stock, in my opinion. Especially a tech company that you use yourself. Short interest ratio, 5.03 days to cover, says seeker of value. Okay. I mean, I don't really use that information to make a trade. I remember people using that Ortex information, you know, days to cover, short borrow usage ratio, all those fancy bullshit numbers, honestly, that Ortex comes out with. Maybe I shouldn't say bullshit. That's a little harsh over there. There's absolute amazing, beautiful data points that Ortex comes out with. But if you ask me, all these data points are just bogging you down. These are not doing you any help. And what I saw happen off of these numbers is people who don't know anything about anything just read like a couple sentences on these things on like investopedia.com, and they start throwing out these numbers like it's Bible or it's a Jesus written mathematical philosophy that everyone needs to know and everyone needs to learn. So that's part of the reason why I kind of got really angered by Ortex. Like, Ortex really ruined a lot of traders. Like, it killed a lot of traders for me. Anyone who started using Ortex and started tweeting Ortex, I kind of just started muting them. Starting with Matt Kors being the first one, right? A lot of people just started using this information willy-nilly, silly, got burnt. I'm not angry because I got burnt. because I never got burnt. I never got burnt on the short squeezes on GME or AMC. But I'm angry because a lot of people just take this website, use those 7 days to cover or cost to borrow ratio, utilization. That's what it was. This utilization numbers, like they have 7 days to cover, they have 5 days to cover. How is that going to help me tomorrow if they have 7 days to cover? That's not going to matter to me. And if the stock is squeezing, they don't have 7 days to cover. They have 7 seconds to cover. So all this information is cool and all, but if it doesn't help you make a trade, if it doesn't help you create a setup, then this is just useless information that you're sitting there staring at every single day, and information that you're possibly paying for. That's not worth it. Whereas, look how, keep it simple, stupid, as they say, right? They say, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. It's not that hard. Trading is not a hard thing to do. What makes it hard is where people start bringing in their emotions. They start FOMOing. Oh my God, I missed the trade. Oh my God, I'm never going to get a trade like this ever again. Let me chase this entry. Idiot, you're going to lose by doing that 90% of the time. Maybe you win 10% of the time, but the 10% of the time you win, you're going to let those bad habits build in and you're going to give everything back, right? But if you just look at the simple mechanics over here, just look at what the stock does in pre-market. We already know it has a high short float. That's the only thing we need to care about. That's the only thing we need to care about. We know it has a high short float. Now we're looking to see all the possible ranges and all the possible scenarios that could possibly set up for us. Here's a scenario, right? Here's a scenario. We're still not at 930. We're at 930 right now. Bang. That's a scenario right there. Here's another scenario. That's another scenario. Here's another scenario. That's another scenario. There's 3 scenarios that I already have mapped out. Now I know how to react off of the scenario. I don't care what the utilization ratio is. I don't care what the days to cover is. All I care right now is there buying in this dip. When these big up candles are coming in and they get smacked down, when the low candles come in, are those low candles met immediately with more buying candles, right? At that point, on this little candle right here, after the reject gets bought right back up, I look to get long over there with the stop at the low of that candle, and then I want to join that party. Make a setup that can help you join the race and with as least information as you can. Keep it simple. Honestly, it's going to help you out in the long run. Trust me on this. Trust me on that. Okay. Aren't they super high to buy at the moment? Are we talking about... What are we talking about, Ani? Pan W, after falling more in the money, did go back up a lot. They gave back about half of its gain, closing up more than 5 points. Pan W, we do have it on our watch list, but yeah, I kind of didn't really watch Pan W. I think Pan W played exactly within my lines. Look at that. Yesterday's high, yesterday's anchored VWAP. This is the 265 low that we were talking about on the earnings day after hour itself. However, the stock did go under that to 260. And you can see how that 265 low basically got respected today. I mean, mamma mia. We'll talk about this more in depth once we get to that stock. But yeah, Jesus written mathematical philosophy. I mean, sometimes I just come up with stupid nonsense. But hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it made sense. I just had to rant about the short float over there because I don't want people to just nonsensically believe all these numbers and information that they're just using from companies and websites like Ortex. I just don't like people using these numbers blindly. Make a setup, please make a setup. Oh, some of the tech you were saying, Apple, Amazon, aren't they high right now? I like accumulating on the dips. I mean, yeah, obviously, accumulating on the dips, buy them when they're low. You don't really want to punch the highs. There are all valid reasons, but I think there was somebody who said there's some sort of a back test that I forget if I have done myself, that it's actually a lot more profitable taking the breakout of all-time highs on stocks during a bull run or something like that. I forget. Look, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. I'm not telling you what to do. It's just something that I've read. Now, I don't have any proof behind it, and I 100% agree that I would much rather buy stocks on dips. Sadly, the dip has kind of already dippity dipped. Maybe Disease X will kind of create another COVID type scare and bring the whole market back down. And at that point, you can catch the trade. It's called getting right side of the trade. Exactly, yeah, right side of the V. But I mean, if you see a nice bull flag pattern, which a lot of these large cap stocks are doing, like Apple, you know, they're all of these stocks are kind of creating some sort of a bullish breakout pattern over here, especially Apple. I mean, if Apple can break out of 200 with the market going to the north side, I don't think we're going to see 180 ever again on Apple. So wouldn't this technically be construed as a dip? And on stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and Google and Amazon, like you wanna use strategies such as, you know, dollar cost averaging. You want to keep buying it on the dips, like on this dip, on that dip, on that dip. You just want to keep dollar cost averaging, keep buying it on the dip. Maybe set up a timed interval every 6 months, every 3 months, every 2 months. X amount of dollars just get poured into Apple, Microsoft, Google, all these dividend-based stocks. Apple gives a dividend, right? 24-cent dividend. Google gives a dividend too, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't? Never mind. Microsoft gives a dividend. There you go, 75-cent share dividend. So, you know, buying these stocks every single time as a dollar cost average might just be the only opportunity you get, because when are you gonna get these type of scared moves unless it's COVID? Like you saw Microsoft, right? This is Microsoft. Okay, maybe you got something into 2018. Okay, you got something really big into 2020, COVID. Okay, we got something happening over here with the financial crisis and interest rates. But I mean, how often do you get a pullback on these stocks? Not that often. Not that often. So when it does give you that pullback of 10% from the highs or 20% from the highs, you might want to think about investing a little bit into these. Right now, that for Microsoft is around, where is that? It's around $400. That's around $370, and we're exactly around those prices on Microsoft, right? Microsoft next earnings report, 500. We're already at 420. 420 blaze it. So that's my idea over there. Dollar cost averaging on an interval basis might be something to think about. Okay, but not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. But let's go to Moderna. mRNA, a stock that announced earnings today pre-market, and a beautiful move to the north side. It actually did something I did not expect it to do. I thought Moderna would die, because who's still taking COVID vaccinations? Nobody. I don't see anyone taking COVID vaccinations. But clearly, Moderna over here launching to the north side, reclaiming the $100 area. Beautiful move to the upside today. So let's kind of move some of our indicators over here on mRNA. Move our yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Let me quickly move over a couple of my anchored VWAPs. That way I know exactly where they are for tomorrow. And then we also put in the anchored VWAP for earnings real quick. So give me a second. That's where the earnings came out. So we put in ER February 24, and it should be a blue line. It is a blue line. Thank you. So technically the blue line and the orange line always end up in the same area. That's because the orange line is from 9:30 to close, and the blue line is exactly when the earnings report came out, all the way until we want to see it till. So usually on earnings day, those are the same lines. You might not need to put in 2 extra lines like me, but I like to leave them. I like to leave them because it makes my life easier for the next day. However, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Moderna on the longer term chart. So Moderna with a good earnings report, 155% beat. Holy smokies. I guess that's why we saw a nice little bump up on the move today on Moderna. So yeah, there you go. They were expected to lose about $1 per share. They actually came out with the 55 cents beat. 55 cents profit per share, so 155% beat over here on Moderna's earnings report, launching it back into $100. We see how this 105 area has kind of struggled a little bit, so looking to see how 105 106 comes into play tomorrow, and above 105 106 we do have this 115.68 to the north side to keep an eye out for, which I don't think we see comes into play tomorrow, but we'll keep an eye out for it. 105.80 to 106 is my first area of resistance, and then above that 115.68, I'll just say 50 to 115.70 to keep an eye out for on the north side there on Moderna. As for supports, I mean, you're basically watching today's VWAP coming into play, possibly around this $95 area, 97 area, should hold for supports. If this 95 area does not hold for support, then that's almost like, okay, what was today's move about then? Because like today's move was monstrous. That obviously we know what was today's move about. It was because of that monster beat on the EPS that no one saw coming, a big surprise on the EPS. So Moderna using that to launch to the upside, looking for a day 2 continuation past today's high into this 105 106 area, and then past 106 into 117 for a longer term trade possibly. And we know that Momo loves stocks like Moderna and other stocks over there, so we'll take a look at it. Seeker of value, BKNG. What is that? Is that you mean DKNG? BKNG. Booking Holdings. Oh, this is another earnings stock. I mean, they're a $3,000 stock. I don't really trade stocks above $1,000, especially with the ones that don't even do a million shares on the day. So these stocks are not in my watch list, but it's in the same realm as one of that other $1,000 stock, MELI, right? Clear blue skies over here. Blue skies. The earnings report probably took it to the upside. Never mind. The earnings report destroyed the stock, sadly. All the way back to the downside we go. So possible supports to keep an eye out for. Maybe you're looking for that. We're already under that. We are already under that. Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to waste too much time on this stock. I don't really care about BKNG. I'm not going to trade it tomorrow. But you can see how we got under that 3,669 area. We're currently holding up exactly at the 3,500. But there looks like a little bit more room to the downside past the 3,500 if it wants to go check it out. And it possibly will. Looks like the earnings report was a beat. But however, the stock flushed down. So I'm guessing something wrong with their guidance over there. But no trade for me on that one. Way too expensive for me to even care about Booking Holdings unless they have a stock split, which one of the stocks is having it tomorrow. We'll talk about that one. I almost forgot about this one. This stock is having a stock split tomorrow, so we'll talk about that very soon. But right now on hand is Fiverr. Fiverr coming out with the earnings report pre-market. Yes, it was pre-market, but where's my... Hello? Can I see it on the 1 minute? Awesome, thanks. You don't want to show me where the time the earnings came out? That's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna have to pick a volume node over here, I guess. I don't even see a volume node to ping it off of. What the fuck? So you can see it reported earnings today clearly, but they just don't want to put in what time they reported earnings, I guess. Or thank you, TradingView. I guess in that case, we kind of just use today's anchor VWAP as the earnings anchor VWAP. Today's low right there, today's highs right there. Move over my anchor VWAPs real quick, and then we just use that as the numbers. Let me get rid of that line. That was the opening range high and the opening range low. So the stock clearly wanted to kind of move to the north side today. I actually had the long through the opening range high, and I took some profits over here. Later on, that flush came in and the stock broke to the downside. That low is now at 21.85. That's pretty surprising. So you're looking for resistances to honestly come in right into this 23 to 23.50 area. The way we held this 23.50 and then broke down was pretty significant of a breakdown over there on the stock. The way the stock already sold off today, 15% down on the earnings report, very significant move down there. So I will not expect the stock to show me anything higher than 23 to 23.50. That looks like a pretty solid barrier over there for us to look for shorts if the stock does pop up. Keep in mind, it will be on SSR day 2. Fiverr will be on SSR day 2. Today was SSR day 1, being down more than 10%. So we'll see if the stock can use that to maybe climb up a little bit more. But I think tomorrow we will probably see this 22 area, 21.85 to be specific. That's today's low breaking, and we start going much lower on Fiverr, sadly. So look out for Fiverr over here. It looks like Fiverr wants to go into that $20 area at the moment, and we might just make it there tomorrow. Very easily making it there to that $20 area tomorrow. Say goodbye, Fiverr. Everyone wave goodbye to Fiverr. Real quick, I think I forgot to do a couple things over here. Let me put in my, what the hell is that? Is that a line that I just put in by mistake? No, that's the line that was, okay, yeah, that's the line that's supposed to be there. Good. Let's go back to the 1 year chart. I need to mark yesterday's high and yesterday's low. I guess I don't really need to mark yesterday's low on Square, but yesterday's high, let me just quickly mark that on that one. Let me do the same thing on Carvana because I forgot to do that. Carvana, yesterday's low, yesterday's high. Don't think once again yesterday's low comes into play on Carvana, but yesterday's high could be something to keep an eye out for. But like I said, you don't want to see the stock going under 58. If it's under 58, game might be over to the long side because you want the squeeze to happen, and for the squeeze you want the stock to go up. NU, not really something that I'm too interested to trade, but I'm just gonna mark it up anyways. Oh, looks like we already had a couple markers there on NU, really. Let's go back to NU, 5-minute chart. Oh, that's today's high. Duh. Dummy. Okay. That's today's high, today's low on NU. Last but not least, MRNA. I think we already did this, so perfect. Now we can head back to the watch list, which we're at. Next up on board, Wayfair, another stock. I mean, nah, Wayfair doesn't belong on the watch list. Just how boxed up you are on the daily chart over there, you don't deserve to be on the watch list for tomorrow. So we're gonna delete Wayfair from the watch list. Do ourselves a favor and cut the watch list short, and let's do ourselves a bigger favor here. Cut the watch list even more shorter by maybe taking out Etsy from here. Let's take a look at how Etsy traded. Etsy clearly pulled into yesterday's low, rejected yesterday's low, flushed to the downside. Looks like it wants to flush even more. Most likely going right back into $65.88 tomorrow, honestly. There might be a trade here. On the pullback and a reject of 70, which is today's high. Or sorry, today's low. There actually might be a trade here on Etsy to keep an eye out for. Yeah, that 70 area is tantalizing the right word? It's tempting me. The 70 area is tempting me. If we are able to short that 70 area tomorrow and ride to the downside into that $65, that's something I would like to keep an eye out for on Etsy. Etsy's ATR is $3.52. $3.50. So watch out for Etsy. I was actually going to take out Etsy from the watch list, and Etsy somehow sneaked into the watch list over there. Let me quickly move over some of my anchored VWAPs real quick. So that should be that one. And that should be that bad boy right there. Okay. So those are moved over, and now we can kind of go to the stock that we actually wanted to talk about, which is Nvidia. Look at Nvidia today. Monster move. 800 coming into play in the after hours. I kind of did not want to see that number, honestly. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to see 800 in pre-market so we could play with that level. But the fact that the market makers always take the edge away from us, keep it for themselves. Bastards, dirty bastards. So 800 coming into play in the after hours over here is pretty upsetting, but hey, what can you do? You control the controllables, you play with the cards that you're dealt, and you stop bitching, right? Stop bitching, play with the cards that you're dealt with. And right now the cards that we're dealt is that move into 780 in the after hours. Most likely we see the stock above 780 in pre-market. I would not doubt it. I will not doubt it for a second that we see above 780 in the pre-market, and we might have to make new levels. That's why on Nvidia, like yesterday, I did not put any levels on Nvidia on my watch list. Let me show you the watch list over here. I did not put any levels on Nvidia on the watch list until today morning pre-market, and in the morning the only levels that I put into my notes over here are the previous all-time high 746, resistance 780, and the inflection point of 750. That very important inflection point, a significant 750 area. You can see how off the open we kind of battle 750. If you were watching the tape off the open, you could see how 742, 750, 760, back to 742, back to 750, kind of just whipsawed all the way back and forth today on Nvidia, eventually going up to the north side, which was exactly what we want to see. But tomorrow, I mean, I have no idea what to expect from this. This is a very volatile stock. This is a very crazy stock. I have no idea what to... That looks like a pair of ball sacks over there. That's funny. I have no idea what to expect from the stock. So I would love to see how the pre-market sets up. What kind of ranges do we get in pre-market? What kind of activity? What kind of volume do we get in pre-market itself for us to play off of? So no levels right now. At a glance, we do have this area where the earnings anchored VWAP is right into $770, so possibly an area to keep an eye out for some supports. We do have today's low, which was also the previous 52-week low. In my opinion, if this area is coming into play, it's not really what you want to see for the long side on Nvidia for a day 2 play. For a day 2 trade, you want to see Nvidia coming into the earnings anchored VWAP and launching away from it. It wants to have nothing to do with the earnings anchored VWAP. It wants to go test it, but after it tests the buying power, after it tests the bulls, after it gets a taste of the blood of the strength that the bulls have off the earnings anchored VWAP, I want to see it immediately dislocating from it and running away from it to the north side. That shows me that there's a lot more buying still in the stock, and the fact that we're not able to go under here is still very bullish. But if we are under that, there's still some bullish permutations, but there's not that many bullish permutations when we are under here. Most likely that's the trade over there if the stock is under 770, in my opinion. So if you want to see Nvidia take off, you want to see something like that. So let's see what happens in pre-market and then off the open. I'll keep the 770 area very close watch for the stock tomorrow. Bulls power the stock that was over 700, even higher. There you go. TH putting it out there. Bulls powering these stocks to the north side. TH also putting get your kicks en route, 66 to 1K. Are you talking about my subscribers? Am I only 66 away from 1K? Let's go. Did we get any new subscribers today? Because if we did, my lights should have been reacting. Okay, all of this is connected. I don't see any lights reacting today. No events list either. Yeah, no. What the hell? Starting next. Chatbot activated. Setting lights to default. I don't know. Maybe it does work. Maybe it didn't work. Someone do exclamation mark red in chat. See if it works. Or do exclamation mark flash. Do exclamation mark flash in chat. See if that works. That'll be a good test over there. But Nvidia, yeah, I mean, honestly, no clue what to expect from this one. I have a couple ideas, but I'll just wait for pre-market to show me what the stock can do. Oh, Kangaroo. What's up, Kangaroo? Hey, it does work. That's a big flash of red over there. Jesus Christ, that can be turned down. That's a big flash of red. Anyways, Anytime someone subscribes, you should see a blue flash. Anyone who becomes a member and becomes a green on the YouTube chat, someone like Sky Fairy got gifted a YouTube membership yesterday, so her name's green. So anyone who becomes a membership, you should see a green flash back there, and anytime a super chat comes in, it should kind of do an RGB flash, so we should see some fun stuff over there. That's a good test though. Thank you, Kangaroo. Angry Buddha, is anyone else seeing news about AT&T services blackout potential hack? Ooh, AT&T getting hacked, and there was a lot of people, a lot of chatter about blackout. Maybe it was you that was talking about it. No, it was Laced Up Souls talked about how Icon Terminal was giving him a blackout of some sorts. So yeah, maybe AT&T over here getting hurt. Pharmacies also experiencing connection blackouts. Oh no, not that hack again. Have you heard about that hack that kind of took over the world a little bit? They hacked like German hospitals or British hospitals. They thought it was just a simple hack, but the hack was pretty big. Ransomware hack of some sorts, I think. I don't know, I forget. I was watching something pretty recently about it, and I have a video actually saved in my watch later. How do I go to my watch later? Yeah, saved in my watch later over here to go watch from this YouTuber, Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris posted a... Ooh, what's that? You can't be using the alerts to alert me without actual things happening. Maybe I gotta turn those commands off for you guys, because now you guys are just gonna be using it, and I'm gonna think that I got a new super chat or a new member, and I'm gonna get happy, and next thing I know, you guys are just playing with the lights over there. That's hilarious. But yeah, look at this one, how viruses have become weapons, and these, I'm guessing he's talking about computer viruses. So I'm very interested to go watch this video. This is about a 31-minute video. If anyone wants to watch it, I'll actually link it in the chat. Go check it out. Go check it out. That's naughty. Yeah, that's very naughty. Come on, boys. But anyways, let's come back to our watch list over here. Only few more stocks over here to talk about. The next stock is Rivian. We thought Rivian would not get under 1168. Boy, were we wrong. Rivian made a new all-time low at $11. It actually managed to crack below that level with what looked like not that much of a bearish earnings report. We saw the earnings report yesterday. It did not look that goddamn bearish. Let's be real. But Rivian got absolutely destroyed. Rivian got smoked to the downside, and now making that new 52-week low and the new all-time low at $11. Possibly we watch that $11 area to see what happens tomorrow. If 11 comes up to show some buying and some support, I would love to look for a long, because I think there could be a big long opportunity off of that area on Rivian tomorrow. So watch out for 11 on the stock, and I'm going to put that one in my notes. Next one, Pan W. Pan W, a little bit of a correction today. You guys did see that, but like I said, it will be hard for me to expect to see the stock higher than 280. That's exactly where the earnings anchored VWAP is too. That's a nice little double bottom over here. So Pan W did struggle before 280 today. It had a range between 265 and 275, about a $10 range, but the stock's ATR is actually $16. So it could have easily gone into 280 in my opinion today to go get to that 1 ATR of a move, but because of yesterday's range being so volatile, we kind of just stood in yesterday's range over here. We'll see if 285 comes back into play tomorrow on Pan W, at which point maybe, or not 285, sorry, 280 comes back into play tomorrow on Pan W. Something to keep an eye out for. As for supports, I'm still watching 260. I think Pan W has a bigger move to the downside into 238. I know a couple of you guys were looking at Pan W for a long-term long or a swing-term long. I would say if Pan W holds 260, that looks good to me. But if it doesn't hold 260, it has some room down to 238, so you might want to be careful. So watch out for Pan W over here tomorrow within those ranges. Pretty high of a range, obviously, but I'm going to be watching within that range for myself. Moderna, importance for Moderna, I'll put it on a blue color. Not really as important for me, for anyone wondering what I'm talking about. I'm basically ranking stocks over here on the trade setups that I found on the chart. So I'm ranking the stocks based on importance, the stocks that are colored orange are a higher priority for me than the stocks that are blue. Sometimes I don't even color the stocks, such as these large cap stocks. Those are just lower priority for me. There are possible trades on Apple and AMD and so on, but I just want to prioritize stocks with a higher relative volume, the more in-play stocks, because those tend to bring in a higher ATR of a move, a more fun move for us to behave, a more fun for us to be involved with. Now, the next stock on the watch list over here, Walmart. Walmart is actually having a stock split tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is it Friday night going into Monday? I don't know. So maybe not tomorrow. Maybe Monday morning, Walmart will be trading at $5 or something silly like that. But Walmart is currently still going into that split territory. Nice little bottom coming into yesterday's low. That's exactly what we wanted to see on Walmart. Nice little hold of yesterday's low and moving back up. So shout out to that on that move. But I don't really see a trade right now. I think once Walmart has a split and goes into $5, we're gonna have a lot more fun over there on that stock. Nice volume spike in Pan W. Maybe it's bottomed, says TH. Let me go check out this volume spike. I mean, would you have said that over there? Right? Would you have said that at that point? But obviously the chart looks much different than Roku for Pan W, and the company Pan W is also way better than Roku, so fuck Roku. Pan W, yeah, I mean, you could, that's a pretty big volume spike. Yeah, that's a pretty goddamn big volume spike. It's also a big drop on the day when the report wasn't that bearish, and the guidance was a little bit of a miss. Yes, I will give you that. The guidance was a miss. The report wasn't that bearish, so a big drop on that side. So it could have bottomed out easily. It could have bottomed out, and I think Rivian bottomed out probably too. The $11 bottom on Rivian has to come in. Like, come on, it's the report wasn't that bearish. Is what I'm trying to get to. The report wasn't that bearish, so watch out for that. Walmart, not really something of a priority for me. Home Depot, I did not think Home Depot would do this. I did tell you to put an alert on Home Depot over here into 367, 368. Did not think that Home Depot would set up going into this number today. I thought it would maybe set up going into this tomorrow, but since that area already came into play, the 52-week high of 368.72/370, maybe that's an area for you to keep an eye out for over here on Home Depot. Positive earnings catalyst is still carrying momentum for the stock to the north side, so shout out to HD Home Depot. I'm just gonna quickly move yesterday's high over and yesterday's low markers over for myself, and that gives you a couple ranges for us to play with. Basically the 52-week high right there, the previous 52-week high, the previous 52-week high, today's low, and today's high for us to play with, and then we'll see. Oh, look at that, surprise, surprise. Yesterday's anchor VWAP is exactly where today's low is. Now if a long comes in over here, that's a monster long off of this area, in my opinion, tomorrow. So watch out for that 367 support on the downside. I think even before 367 comes in, that 369, 370 area should hold for support. That was the previous all-time high. Not all-time high, sorry, previous 52-week high. So 369 to 370 is my first area support. My second area support will be that 367 area, and I don't think the stock goes under 367, period. As for resistances, we got the 373 high of today to keep an eye out for. Now, last few sectors for us to keep an eye on, but before we go talk about a little bit of the Apples and the AMDs, I do have one of our viewer who asked me for AMD. Viewer Seeker of Value asked about AMD. I mean, AMD at this point is most likely just sympathy trading off of Nvidia, but you do have that all-time high coming into play, right? Beautiful all-time high coming into play on AMD, so looking forward to see if we can break out of that all-time high. We finally broke out of this wedge pattern successfully, in my opinion, and the reason why I say successfully is because they used that Nvidia catalyst to propel themselves back into the north side over here. So if Nvidia can continue propelling to the north side, I think 185 breakout on AMD or a break of 185, a pullback and hold of 185 is something to keep an eye out for. And especially if the stock is not really above 185 in pre-market, and then off the open you're seeing the ability or the opportunity for us to take the breakout of 185, that's a monster trade that you don't want to miss out on AMD. Trust me on that. So watch out for this stock over here. It's selling climax. What's selling climax? Rivian? It's a selling climax. Oh, for Rivian. I thought you said it's selling climax. I was like, it's selling climax? What does that mean? It's a selling climax. I got you. But AMD, watch out for this 185 move to the north side. Since we're in that same sector and industry, let's talk about ARM, which recently made a nasty move to the north side, is kind of consolidating right before that 140 area. Something to keep an eye out for also. So keep an eye out for that 140 room to the north side over here on ARM. Yesterday's high is not that. That's right there. That's right there. You get ported over there. You get ported over there. I mean, I can add all these afterwards for myself too. It doesn't really matter. But ARM, watch out to see how that 140 area possibly plays for us. Meta, we talked about how beautiful range Meta has been playing in. Now with the QQQ going back into the all-time high and the S&P 500 making a new all-time high, you're watching that 490, 500 coming into play on Meta. So if the market goes for another run up north tomorrow, I mean, look at what today's high was, 489.99. So 490, you're watching the 490 area on Meta tomorrow. Let me quickly move over that bad boy, and then we move over this one, and then we move over this one. So watching how 490 comes into play with today's low around, what's today's low around? 470? I mean, yeah, I don't think 470 comes into play. It could if we do reject 490 though. I mean, if we do reject 490, 470 could come into play. But right there, that little opening range double bottom, in my opinion, going into 482 is important. You don't want to see the stock below 482. So I'm going to mark up that 482 for myself on META. And I think Meta just went up on importance for us tomorrow. High important stock. MSFT, where are you? MSFT on the daily chart first. Nah. I don't want to have to do anything with Microsoft at the moment. I think there's other stocks that are doing better things for us. You could possibly look for a trade on Google, but nah. Nothing really for me here. Amazon, with you getting added to the Dow, are you doing something fun? You are, you beautiful beast, you. Let's go. You are doing something fun. So Amazon gets added to the priority list. Color Amazon orange. Amazon resistance right around 175.50. Amazon support right around today's low of 170. Even though today's low is 172. I'm going to put 170 as my support for Amazon over here. Because I will be giving it all the way to the downside over there. Netflix, not really sure if Netflix is doing anything fun yet, but 600 is coming back into play, so possibly can keep an eye out near 600 over there on Netflix with the market moving back into the all-time high territories. But we already have $700, $800 stock to take an eye out, keep an eye on. So I'm not really sure how much I want to trade Netflix tomorrow, but there's an opportunity over here to keep an eye on for Netflix above 600. Tesla, I mean, it's not really doing what we want it to do. And with Rivian and with Lucid kind of breaking, all-time lows, Tesla is a little bit of a question mark over here. Not that Tesla follows Lucid and follows Rivian, it's just a little bit of a question mark. I think we can wait for Tesla to break its range successfully and then start playing with it. If you want to gamble, then you could just, get involved in the break of this range when it happens. But I would much rather watch the range break, pull back, and then see support being formed above the range high. Yes, above the range high, at which point we can get long. So watch out for that on Tesla. QQQ, the all-time high, we basically marked that level today into that 439 area. So you're watching QQQ. If we can get above 439 for more blue skies to the north side. S&P 500 broke the all-time high today, making a new one into 508. I think was it TH or somebody else in the chat yesterday said that the Goldman Sachs analysts are now pricing in 5,200 on the S&P 500 futures. S&P 500 futures right now are at 5,100. Keep in mind that my data is delayed. I do use my good friends over at... Oh, there you go. Shout out to them. They're already over here right at the top of the page. I do use my good friends at... Think with Bookmap. Go hit the subscribe with Think with Bookmap channel over here. Oh, look at that. They're so nice, dude. They're awesome. They've been helping me out big time recently. He actually pins my stream over here in the chat so people can come watch it. But more of you guys need to come watch my stream. I'm live. I'm just gonna try and spam that chat over there. I'm live, come watch me. You know, at the end of the day, shout out to this channel. They actually show me what the where the markets are live, and we're currently at on the S&P 500 futures. Where are we? ES 5100. Pretty much exactly where my delayed data is. Pretty much exactly where my delayed data is. That's good to see. Good to see the market hasn't really moved much after the close. I guess this is the right around the close today. What is that? E25? I wonder what that means. I'm guessing this is where right around the close is, and we're just teetering around that area still in the after hours today. Nothing really happening too much on that side for the futures. Yeah, we're just hanging out. But my point was that the S&P 500. God damn it, Pratt! Stop drawing stupid ass designs on your stupid charts. All right. My point was the market's pricing in 5,200, and we're not that far away from 5,200 on the S&P 500 futures. TH says it wasn't TH. It was somebody else in the chat yesterday. Then I'm sorry, TH, for giving you that credit. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. But there we go. That's pretty much our watch list on the day. Wonderful watch list. Ooh, I forgot one last sector, which is the Bitcoin sector. And this is the sector that we actually need to kind of maybe incorporate for our number one stock on the watch list tomorrow, which is Square. Block changes its name to, or Square changed its name to Block to accommodate blockchain, which is Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and everything else. One thing that I noticed on the Benzinga report for Square is they actually put somewhere over here, where is it? Excluding Bitcoin. Like right here, excluding Bitcoin, the revenue for the fourth quarter was up 15% year over year for Square. Now that's a pretty important detail if you ask me, because we're not even including the Bitcoin rally. We're excluding the Bitcoin rally over here into 50,000 or into maybe less than 50, because we're talking about the last quarter, right? So maybe less than 50 if you kind of want to, you know, dumb down the numbers a bit. At the end of the day, no matter how much you're dumbing down the numbers, you're actually not even including the numbers. So excluding the Bitcoin value, revenue that it might have brought in for this company that has changed its structure to kind of facilitate more Bitcoin based trading, it's pretty crazy to me. It's kind of like they're hiding the information from us, or maybe they're kind of showing you that, hey, this company is growing and we're not even showing you the Bitcoin numbers yet, right? So a couple ways to kind of spin that information around in my opinion. And you know, Bitcoin obviously up above 50k still. We're not going under 50k anytime soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I don't want to see it going below 50k anytime soon. Let's actually keep on rising, keep mooning to the north side, and go into 100k. That would be amazing, right, Bitcoin? That would be amazing to see 100k on BTC. But still got some time for that, in my opinion, and we'll see maybe the end of the year giving us that opportunity. But with Bitcoin hanging out in these territories, stocks like Coinbase, Mara, Riot, we talked about Coinbase being at a wonderful level yesterday. Look at that, beautiful long opportunity. Not exactly at that level, sadly, but beautiful long opportunity right near that level today, and a move back up to the north side on Coinbase. And I bet you Mara did the same thing. Let's go check out Mara. Look at that, Mara bouncing off of that beautiful bottom that we were looking out for, and this one actually gave you you that trade. It went into that low from yesterday. It showed you support on that low from yesterday. Oh my lord, that's such a beautiful trade. Look at that. That is such a beautiful trade. Off the open, we gapped up. We gave up the ghost. We got under yesterday's low. We basically triggered the stops under yesterday's low. Got bought right back up. Reclaimed yesterday's VWAP. Reclaimed today's VWAP. And just rallied to the north side. That's a monster long over there. And that's the long that we talked about yesterday on stream. So shout out to you guys if you traded Mara. Shout out to you if you took my call out. Sadly, Coinbase didn't do the exact same thing, but you get the idea over there. That's exactly the trade we were looking for on Coinbase, on Mara. Riot didn't really have that same setup, but Riot gave you a bounce off of yesterday's low, but it's not the exact same setup for me because Mara was on a more significant, longer time frame than Riot, which is only a 2-day time frame. So shout out to this one over here. Coin dropped off after hours to 168.99. Did it? I mean, that's not a drop off in any state of mind, dude. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. The stock is up 5% on the day, and we maybe gave up 1% from the highs. That's nothing. That's nothing. Where was I next? Yeah, the Bitcoin and the Coinbase industry and so on. So I'm not really too keen on making a trade on Coinbase, Mara, Riot based on cryptocurrency moves or Bitcoin moves, but I gave you a trade over here yesterday on Coinbase. I gave you a trade on Mara yesterday. Hopefully you guys took advantage of those trades. However, if I am interested in a Bitcoin type of trade, I'm most likely going over to BITO or GBTC or some of those other stocks over there. Oh, monster move on GBTC or BITO. Sorry, I like that. Beautiful move on BITO today to the north side. I still need to move a lot of my indicators over, but I'll do that on my own time. Now, let's show you the company that I was talking about that might be in focus tomorrow based on what happened today after hours. LUNR, Lunar Landing, Lunar Holdings, whatever the company name is. It's actually Intuitive Machines Inc. Why do I keep calling it Lunar Holdings? Intuitive Machines, a company that has been kind of in play recently. If you guys have been watching what the stock has been doing, it's been moving around quite a bit. So it's been in play quite a lot recently. One of the more, I guess, small cap stocks. Let's see actually what the float is. Yeah, small float, small cap stocks. Not a high short float, I hope. Nope, not a high short. Oh, 11%. Not bad at all. We like to see that. Okay, so 11% short float and getting active. More important right now, however, is the fact that this company had a successful, where is it? Ooh, I don't want to close that. I got some message over here. What did Alex say? Alex said yes, 14 minutes. Not sure what that means. Pretty sure he wasn't responding to me though. I thought he was responding to me, but he wasn't. Oh yeah, I'm live on the NQ chat, not the ES chat. So anyways, moving away from there, talking about where did my YouTube page go? Not the one. That's the one. There we go. So they're actually having a lunar lander, lunar how do I put this? Rover or it's not a rover either. Either way, they're having some sort of an instrument land on the moon today, and the mission was either going to be successful or fail. Not too long ago, they took off on the back of a SpaceX rocket. They did that successfully. They got into the orbit. After getting into the orbit, now they're looking to land today, and they actually end up somewhat semi-successfully. I'm gonna say semi-successfully landing, because at some point in this stream that you find out that they do land. They have a faint connection. This is the mission control. Obviously, you'll see a lot of people with the NASA flags or yeah, there you go, the American flags and the NASA flags going on their shoulder patches and so on. At the end, the company does make a successful landing. I'll put successful in quotes because they're not able to properly communicate with their lunar lander. However, this test, the successful landing, or if there was one, all of these are going to help propel the humans race to the moon. I guess we already has a race to the moon, but the humans' goal to put man on the moon, especially NASA's mission to put man on the moon, the landing of this rover will give them more biometric biometric was probably not even the right word, but more telemetric, you know, those the distance from the landing site, how much air pressure does each canister need to use, and so on. A bunch of scientists over there. That's just one part of the science they said that they're doing off of this lander, and there's tons of other science that experiments that they're going to be doing off of this lander. So they said successful landing. They said that they're going to work on the connection. They're going to be you know, keeping us keeping us up to date, hopefully through their Twitter or something. I'm gonna actually see if there's their Twitter somewhere. Into machines, Twitter. You know, might be worth following their Twitter over here to keeping track of what exactly is going on. Today, for the first time in half a century, America has returned to the moon in a somewhat successful mission, however, with the feat for IM, SpaceX, and NASA. So big move over here for LUNR. And if you see how the stock reacted to that in the after hours, nice move into the north side in the after hours. You see that move over there on a successful landing, took it to the north side. Now, here are a couple trade scenarios. If the landing was actually successful, you might actually see a beautiful long opportunity on the stock on the break of the opening range. Look at what the stock did today. Right there, the opening range high, we broke out, we pulled back, found support, and then launch up to the north side. I actually had that long. So, looking for some sort of an opportunity over there like this. But tomorrow, imagine they randomly come out of nowhere and they say, hey, our rover actually crashed. The faint signal we have is a dead signal that we're getting because it cannot create any more signals. So I'm just kind of going the worst case scenario over here as to what can happen and how could I benefit and profit off of that. So that would be if they do come out with some sort of a news catalyst saying, hey, we actually failed the mission, sadly, our rover crashed and it did not successfully land. That's a short trigger for me, so I'll be watching both sides. Not sure if this is a news-based trade at this point because of that. Maybe the news already finished because we got the successful landing, but since they didn't really show us a successful landing, since they already talked about a faint signal, there could be a bigger game over here. I think if the landing was successful, this was going to be a parabolic move, and since this wasn't a parabolic move, it got me asking a lot of questions. So watch out for LUNR tomorrow. It's probably a stock of interest in my opinion. Watch out for LUNR. One last thing I wanted to talk about. I already showed you guys the earnings calendar. Absolutely dead tomorrow. Zilch, nada, nothing going on there. So nothing to worry about for you on a random out of the blue move coming in and wiping out your gains or your profits, however you want to put it. Tomorrow's Earnings pre-market, nothing that I actually care about. Warner Bros. Discovery, possibly something that you might care about. I actually don't care about it too much. Bloomin' Brands over there. I know Neil trades Bloomin' Brands quite a bit, so maybe you'll see him trade that one. But no stock over here in the pre-market actually excites me. I think Nvidia, Moderna, Block, Carvana are most likely going to take most of my attention off for the day, and maybe some small caps here or there that are going to take some of my attention for the day trading. So that's probably where most of my eyes will be. And tomorrow I will actually be back to trading. That's right, tomorrow I'll actually be back to trading. So my vacation is over. I know no one actually gets happy for vacation being done, but my vacation is over. I'm gonna be back to trading, and we're gonna see what type of fun moves can we slap on the market over here. We spent this good amount of vacation actually putting in work. You guys saw me streaming every single day. You guys saw me back testing stocks. You guys saw me using scanners and building scanners. So I'm very excited to see what kind of results we can put out over here going into the next month. So I can't wait. Stay tuned, guys. We're gonna have some monster trades shown shown on stream very soon. One more thing, Reddit IPO. Reddit files to list IPO on NYSE under the ticker RDDT. Now, we don't really have a date as to when this IPO comes out, but RDDT, what a horrible ticker name. Garbanzo ticker. If I was to give Reddit a ticker, it will probably be RDT. Does RDT already exist? Why am I lagging all of a sudden? RDT doesn't really exist. It does exist on the OTC markets. Red tier mining. RDTCF though. Red Tiger, sorry, I can't even read. Red Tiger Mining. That sounds like a Chinese company to me, dude. What the fuck? Red Tiger? Sounds Chinese as fuck. Okay. RDT sounds pretty good. RDDT sounds pretty stupid to me, man. RDDT sounds pretty stupid, but hey, we finally have a confirmation on the Reddit IPOing over here. So finally a little bit of a confirmation. Previously there was a lot of hype and talk about Reddit IPOing in 2003, in December of 2023, but everything kind of died off. Yeah, right there, December 2023, everything was kind of getting hyped up over there, but then it just died off all of a sudden. But now we're actually seeing things playing out. I'm still looking for an actual date. I kind of skimmed through this article, didn't find a date at all. Okay. What the fuck? What the? That's sick, dude. What? You're telling me Reddit moderators can participate in the company's pre-IPO offering? Retail or otherwise constituting a large proportion of the investors participating in this offering than is typical for an initial public offering. Reddit said that it had an average of more than 6,000 daily active moderators in December. These factors caused volatility in the market price of Class A suits. That's actually pretty damn cool. That's actually pretty damn cool if you ask me. Shout out to Reddit. Still not seeing a date on these guys though. Still not seeing a date at all. Reddit is a litmus test for investors' appetite for non-AI things. I mean, Reddit could easily implement AI. You know how easily Reddit could implement AI? You're an idiot if you think Reddit cannot implement AI with the amount of data that they have sitting in their databases. You have any idea how much Reddit could like power the AI segment of the world? Like insane amount of data sitting in Reddit, just harboring. So for anyone who doesn't realize that, you're stupid. If you think Reddit is a litmus test for a non-AI things, you're an absolute idiot, whoever wrote this article. But for now, yes, Reddit doesn't have an AI, but Reddit could easily create an AI-driven protocol so much quicker than half of these companies out there that already exist that actually have AI in their name. C3 AI, what the fuck do you do? Nobody knows what you do. Come on, get that garbage out of here. Get that garbage out of here. All right. Anything else that I need to talk about? Let me quickly scan my pages over here, trying to see if there is anything else I need to talk about. I don't really... Let's see what the market breadth was today. Okay, so we had about 239 stocks up more than 4%, 228 stocks down more than 4%, so pretty even over there. 5-day ratio, 10-day ratio, not sure what that means, but okay. Number of stocks up 25% in the quarter, compared to number of stocks down 25% on the quarter. So we got more stocks up in this quarter, and the numbers actually going down. That's not good. The numbers are going down. Okay. Secondary breadth, number of stocks up 25% or more in a month, number of stocks up 25% or down or 25% or more in the month. So 127, 78, a little bit more in depth of other breadth markets. So as you guys can see, market kind of slowing down over here. Not what you want to see, boys. Not what you want to see, but hey, there were more stocks up more than 4% today than there were yesterday, and there were also more stocks down more than 4% today than there were yesterday. That's pretty good overall. I'm not sure how the color coding works. I need to understand this color coding more. I've just recently started to take a look at this stock B market monitor data sheet. The color coding changes. I need to learn. Maybe there's some sort of legend somewhere that kind of explains that more, but this is a pretty cool sheet. This goes all the way back till 2007, right? This goes all the way back to 2007. So whoever this person is that maintains this sheet, stock B, is very, very helpful. So I'm just recently starting to take a look at it. Not sure how to use that information yet, but we'll figure it out eventually. We'll figure it out eventually how to do that. I was going to react to some TikToks, trading-based TikToks, and kind of, poke fun at these nonsensical things, but I'm thinking maybe I just do that as an offline video. I record that on my own time, and I don't really waste your guys' time for this. And we just kind of wrap it up for the day. Or let's do this. Let's play a game, chat. Let's play a game. Who's down to play a game with me before we call it a night? Okay, let's play a game here. Let's turn off the music. Turn off music. And now let's play this game, Songless. So the point of this game over here, it's called Songless. It gives you can see how at the bottom over here there's a bar, right? It gives you a snippet of each song, and you have to guess the song in that snippet, and based on how small of a snippet you guess the song in, you get points or whatever. So if you guys are good with music, let's see if we as a team over here can do this without cheating. Okay, I'm gonna play this game over here, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Okay, let's go. What the hell? Is this Crazy Train? I think it's Crazy Train. You guys want to hear the next part? Okay, if I hit skip though, it's gonna make us listen to the next part of the song and we lose points for this. Okay, fine, I'll hit skip. It was Crazy Train! Ah, I didn't even need to skip. John, you made me lose points for this, dude. It's not Crazy Train? Wait, what's this song called? Okay, maybe I don't know the song's name, but I know the song. How does anyone know the song? Come on, help me, chat. I don't want to cheat. I mean, even if I wanted to cheat, I don't know the lyrics for this song. Anyone know this? Come on, chat, you know this. Help me out over here. I can't remember the song's name, chat. Oh no. We're just gonna have to skip it. We're just gonna have to skip it. We don't know it. Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. Oh, sweet child of mine. Yeah, I know the song, dude. Oh. Oh, come on, dude. I knew the song. Come on, dude. Okay, next. Hip hop. We're gonna hip hop song here. Oh, I know the song. I know the song. This is the XXXTentacion. I don't really care if. Oh, it's not XXX. Maybe it's Lil Uzi. I don't really care if you cry. On a real, I should've never lied. Let's see. It is that one. Oh my god, I'm so good at this. Lil Uzi. What's that song called? All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. No. What's the song's name, chat? How am I screwing this up? You know what? We're gonna cheat. XO Tour Life. That's what it was called. XO Tour Life. Yes. Huh? Are you kidding me because I didn't spell it right? You're joking. That's a joke. Done enough. Fall enough. Alright, next song. Try to guess the song from Listen to Small Parts. Alright, let me in, brother. Oh, I can't play for another two hours. Okay, let's play wordless. Let's play wordless. Okay. You guys want to do 3, 4 words? Let's do 3 words. Give me a 3-letter word, chat. Come on. Let's do rat. Okay, start. Rat. Oh, so R is the first word. Okay, rat. A is not the second word, so we gotta need a second word with a different letter. Sorry. R-A-T, rug, R-U-G. U is not the second letter. Damn it. Okay. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. A-E. A-E. R-E. Red. E is not the fuck. A-E-I. R-I-E. R-I-O. R-I. A-E-I-O. R-O. Rom? Ram? No, A is not the second letter. No, no, no. Rog? Ram? Rogue? Roll? No, damn it. Uh, uh, R. Rip. R-I-P? Oh, okay, John. Okay, that's good. Okay, so R and P. We got R correct. We got P correct. We're just missing the middle letter. R. RCP? RQP? RWP? RYP? ROP? RSP? RFP? RHP? RGP? RJP? RKP? RLP? RZP? RXP? RCP? RVP? RBP? RNP? RMP? What the fuck? Rep. Oh shit, we already tried E. That's right. What in the hell? What is this three-letter word? Yo, what the fuck? ROP? Says word not found. Watch it be something stupid, dude. I'm gonna try all of them now, cause like, fuck it at this point. We already tried. What in the world is this three-letter word? Okay, we pretty much did all the letters here. And it is none of these. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? Okay, chat, we're gonna call it a night on that. That's embarrassing. I thought the first letter was R and the last letter was P. I didn't know it could be in any... Oh, that's embarrassing. Alright, we're gonna call it a night on that one. Call it a night. Maybe we'll better luck tomorrow. We'll better luck tomorrow on the song list and on the word list. It might be something that we just do at the end of the stream to kind of have some fun with each other. You know, we have you guys putting in your guesses. We have you guys putting in your answers. You saw how that song game, I was pretty good at it. I knew all the songs. I just didn't know the song names. That sucks. That sucks. We were so good at it though. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everyone who tuned in today. Thank you for tuning in. If you hit that like, even if you did not hit that like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all that YouTube algorithm stuff. Today is sadly the final stream of the week, so we will not be live tomorrow. We will be back, however. I'm trying to open up my YouTube chat. I might have just closed it. Damn it. We will be back, however, Sunday for Sunday night service at 6 p.m. So tune in for Sunday for a nice little get you warmed up on the weekend session. We also have a lot of fun stuff coming up. We have a couple podcasts lined up with a couple of our friends over with Bookmap family. We also have some possible podcasts coming up with some of the trade ideas people. So lots of fun stuff coming. I have a couple of video ideas that I want to film. I'll see if I'll be able to film those, and I also have a lot of work to do for you guys in terms of the social media aspect. So please go follow my social media and hit that like on my social media content, because that algorithm matters too. Hit that like on all my social media content if you can. That would be a huge favor. Go check out all the links down below in the description: Discord, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. My affiliate sponsors: Trade Ideas, Trader Sync. Use code PRAD15 to get 15% off. Benzinga, you see me using Benzinga every single day for finding out the latest news on stocks. Go check out Benzinga's affiliate sponsor code also in the description. Last but not least, my watch list. They're absolutely free. Everything I do is absolutely free, but if you want to go an extra mile to support your homie Prad, then you can do so by becoming a member over at Patreon. That will give you a couple extra added benefits, such as actually getting a physical copy of my watch list sent out to your email every single day, other than just having a YouTube video as your watch list, and a couple other added perks over there. You can also choose to support me on YouTube by becoming a YouTube member. We had a lot of new YouTube members come in yesterday, so shout out to a lot of new YouTube members, and actually shout out to Mike Crahan. Shout out to Mike Crahan for that one. People in the chat today, we got 30 votes, and out of those 30 votes, we got about 60% of you saying that you did not trade Nvidia today. That's pretty surprising to me, but I guess most of you guys are futures traders, so that makes sense. But 60% of you did not trade Nvidia today. Only 40% did. And for the 40% who did, I hope you guys absolutely smashed it and made some money. What's going on over here? Yellow, wrong order. That's why green is the right order? What the hell are you talking about? Yellow is greater than wrong order. That's why green is the right order? I have no clue what Momo talks about half the time, I'll be honest with you. But shout out to Momo over here. Momo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. But too late, Momo. You're coming to the chat too late. We are about to call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, have a banger Friday. Have an even better weekend. And I will see you guys Sunday for Sunday night service. Until then, have a great time. Stay blessed. Kiss your loved ones. Play with your dogs. Don't ignore your dogs. I'm basically talking to myself over here. But yeah, love your dogs. Prad, where is the music? Also, what's the name of the artist you were listening to yesterday? I stopped the music because we were playing a game over here that involved listening to music. So I stopped the music, but I will have to bring it back because we're about to call it a night. But in terms of what was the artist's name, I will not be able to give you that at all, because all the songs that I get actually come from over here. They come from this channel. Oh, what the hell? Why is that playing? Let's turn that off. Wow, beautiful. But most of my songs come from this channel over here. I'll leave them in the background for the stream. Good music to listen to. Good music to listen to when you're trading too. But some good music today was actually introduced to me from our good friends over at the Think with Bookmap family, Oso. Oso was playing some bangers today. Let me pull up the song that Oso was playing real quick. What was that song even called? Oh yeah, this one. This one's a pretty good song. I'll play this one today for the outro, and we'll give the credit to Oso. Go check out Oso on his stream. He day trades futures live on YouTube every single day, so go check him out. Go check him out 100%. But this is the song he introduced me to today, and this is the song that we will wrap it a night to. So ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Have a great night. I'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye.